Welcome. I'm Clive Vanell, New York State Assembly member for the 33rd Assembly District in Queens, and the chair of the Internet and New Technologies Subcommittee in the New York State Assembly. Today we're going to talk about the tech initiatives in the 2021-2022 New York State budget. But before we get into that, I'll talk about a little bit of housekeeping. We were supposed to go Facebook Live, but what we're doing is we're streaming on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And so if you want to contact us, you can contact us directly in the comments, or you can send us a direct message, or you can contact our office. We're trying this to have as much coverage and to be able to talk to as many of you as possible. Oh, we're also streaming this on YouTube. So let's talk about the tech initiatives in the New York State budget. We'll talk about the tech initiatives. We'll also briefly go over the governor's Reimagine New York plan. We'll talk about some technology bills to look out for in the legislature. We'll talk about a few of my bills, but there are a number of bills that are in the legislature now. And then we'll talk about two laws that passed for task force that were supposed to convene, but the coronavirus derailed everything. So we're going to look into trying to reignite and restart those. So let's talk about the tech initiatives in the budget. Here's some of the things that we'll mention here today. We'll talk about a grant, a digital inclusion grant that's statewide for local community organizations to be able to participate in. We'll talk about affordable broadband plans. We'll talk about free internet for students, a broadband study, and self-driving vehicle testing on New York State roads. So we're very excited to announce that New York State has a $15 million program for grants for digital inclusion. And it is to assist local efforts to bring digital equity to individuals that are left out of today's essential digital technology. The program will address the digital inequities and provide funding for local programs to deliver access, deliver devices, and training to underserved individuals and households. The statewide program will be administered through the State Education Department in consultation with the Office of Aging and the Department of Labor. The grants will be available on an application basis to nonprofits, to schools, libraries, to local governments, municipal housing authorities, and other community-based organizations. So get to applying. We're very excited about this program for local communities and organizations to help close the digital divide. We also understand that the data plans are very expensive. So we have a program for $15 broadband plans for low-income families. And in order to qualify, the families and households would have to qualify by being eligible for the National School Lunch Program, for SNAP, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, for Medicaid, if you qualify for senior citizen rent increase exemption, for a disability rent increase exemption, or if you're a household that has any utility affordability programs, you may be eligible for this $15 a month broadband plan. Also, we're very excited that we have in the budget free internet access for 50,000 students throughout for an entire year through June 2022. The program is called Connected New York. And it'll help close the digital divide by providing free mobile hotspots and free monthly data plans to approximately 50,000 students in economically disadvantaged school districts. The school districts where the students are economically disadvantaged, where it exceeds the state average, are eligible for this program. So we're excited about that. We also have the Comprehensive Broadband Connectivity Act, where this act will require the Public Service Commission to undertake a statewide assessment of broadband access, affordability, and internet speeds to make sure to help close the digital divide. It requires the PSC to produce a detailed coverage map on its website that indicates internet service by location and to construct fiber optic services in communities with absent or low levels of service. We're excited about that program. Next, we'll talk about the autonomous vehicle technology testing in New York. We extended that for another 2 years. We're saddened to hear about the news that happened out in Texas, where 2 men were killed in a crash that were using the autopilot feature in their 2019 Model S Tesla. Neither man were sitting behind the wheel, and the car took a turn and crashed into a tree. We're sad to hear about that. That's why this is even more important. We, in New York State, we are allowing manufacturers of autonomous vehicle technology or companies or entities that are creating such technology to work in conjunction with the manufacturers. They could apply to test autonomous vehicles on New York State roadways. You have to apply directly through the Department of Motor Vehicles. But a person, in order to test this, must have a valid driver's license, and a person must be in the driver's seat while operating on public highways. And that person must be prepared to take control when required in order to operate the vehicle safely and lawfully. And those are some of the major tech initiatives that's going on in the budget. And I want to talk a little bit about the governor's Reimagine New York. We're excited about Reimagine New York, and the governor understands the importance of technology and the importance of technology in New York State. And Reimagine New York has a number of objectives where connectivity and closing the digital divide. Telehealth is a major portion of it to improve access to quality health care. People have to be connected to the internet to be able to receive telehealth. And we're working to expand opportunities for the digital economy. So very important to look into what's happening with Reimagine New York. So we'll talk about a few legislation that to look out for. We have my New York Data Protection Act, Quantum Computing Study Bill, and the Digital Affordability Plan to be able to use ATSC 3.0. So the New York Data Protection Act, very important for us to really dig down and see how we deal with privacy and data information in New York State. I have a bill called A3818 that established the New York Data Protection Act, which require us, New York State and government entities and contractors to disclose certain personal information about individuals. Look, Europe passed a certain type of law, California passed certain laws, different states are passing different things. It's very important for us to make sure that we protect New Yorkers' data, but it's also very important for companies to be able to test, to grow, to be able to be in New York, and that we have in the United States that we have the proper environment for protection and business growth, and try to balance that. So that's what we're going to that's what we're trying to do, and we'll be working on data information and protection this year. Then we have our quantum computing study bill. Very important for us to make sure we secure information and data in New York State. The state government is the holder, is the steward of some of your most valuable information. Your birth certificates, your death certificates, your marriage certificates, your auto title, your real estate title. So very important that we can secure that information and that data, and very important for us to be also to try to lead in research and development. And we should look at the new paradigm of computing, and we have a great educational institutions in New York like SUNY and CUNY to be able, so we should look into creating more studies on quantum computing. Then I have a bill to look at affordable internet for all, so you can have access to information directly on your phone, and better use of some of our spectrum that some of the broadcasters have in New York State. So we have something called a bill to look into using the technology ATSC 3.0 to be able to see if New Yorkers are able to have lower lower cost data plans and better data plans that would be part of the fabric of broadband. Lastly, we've passed two bills. We passed a bill to look into artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation to create a task force to be able to look into how New York State is dealing with these technologies for labor, for new jobs, and for different opportunities. And we also had a similar task force to look into digital currencies and blockchain. And after coronavirus, it got thwarted. So we're looking into how to revive those issues. Please stand by for more information on that. We're excited that New York State is looking into technology, and we understand the importance of technology. We're excited that we are even having technology issues directly in the New York State budget. Look out for more. If you want to contact us or comment, again, comment directly on direct message or in our comment section, or contact our office directly. Thank you.